Recessions, those unwelcome guests in the economic realm, cast a long shadow over individuals, businesses, and nations alike. Defined as a significant decline in economic activity typically measured by 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP growth, these periods of downturn trigger a chain reaction impacting the global financial system, labor markets, and the overall well-being of societies. Let's delve into the complexities of recessions, their historical precedents, and the ripple effects they leave behind. A recession is a significant decline in economic activity across the economy, typically characterized by a decrease in gross domestic product, GDP, income, employment, industrial production, and retail sales. It is a cyclical phenomenon that occurs periodically in market economies, influenced by various factors such as changes in consumer behavior, shifts in investment patterns, monetary policy decisions, and external shocks like wars or pandemics. Causes of recession. Recessions can stem from a variety of factors, both internal and external to the economy. Some common causes include monetary policy tightening. Central banks may increase interest rates to combat inflation, which can reduce consumer spending and business investment, leading to a slowdown in economic growth. Financial crises. Banking crises, asset bubbles, or excessive levels of debt can trigger financial instability, causing a contraction in lending and investment. External shocks. Events such as wars, natural disasters, or global pandemics can disrupt supply chains, reduce demand for goods and services, and dampen investor confidence. Fiscal policy changes. Sudden shifts in government spending or taxation policies can impact consumer and business behavior, affecting overall economic activity. Effects on the global financial market. During a recession, fear and uncertainty become the dominant players in the financial arena. Consumer spending drops, leading to reduced demand for goods and services. Businesses suffer, resulting in lower profits and decreased investment. This domino effect cascades into the financial system, where stock markets plunge, investor confidence plummets, causing stock prices to tumble, eroding wealth and hindering access to capital. Credit tightens. Banks become more cautious, making it harder for businesses and individuals to borrow money, further stifling economic activity. Interest rates fluctuate. Central banks may lower interest rates to stimulate borrowing and investment, but this can also fuel inflation, further complicating the recovery process. Recessions often have far-reaching consequences for the global financial market, including stock market volatility. During recessions, stock prices tend to decline as investors become more risk-averse and corporate earnings come under pressure. Credit crunch. Financial institutions may tighten lending standards and reduce credit availability, making it harder for businesses and individuals to access financing. Currency fluctuations. Economic uncertainty can lead to currency volatility as investors seek safe haven assets, impacting trade balances and capital flows between countries. Asset price deflation. The bursting of asset bubbles, such as in the housing market, can lead to a decline in asset prices, causing wealth erosion for investors and households. Increased risk of defaults. Companies facing financial difficulties may default on their debt obligations, leading to corporate bankruptcies and job losses. Impact on the labor market. Recessions typically result in adverse effects on the labor market, including rising unemployment. As businesses cut costs and reduce production in response to lower demand, unemployment rates tend to rise, leading to job losses and income insecurity for workers. Wage stagnation. Weak labor market conditions can suppress wage growth as workers face reduced bargaining power and employers offer lower compensation packages. Underemployment. Many workers may be forced to accept part-time or temporary employment opportunities due to a lack of full-time job options, leading to underutilization of labor resources. Skill erosion. Prolonged periods of unemployment can lead to skill atrophy among workers, reducing their long-term employability and potential earnings. Psychological impact. Job insecurity and financial stress can have negative effects on mental health and well-being, exacerbating social inequalities and contributing to social unrest. Historical recession events. Throughout history, recessions have left their mark, each with its unique characteristics and long-lasting consequences. The Great Depression of the 1930s serves as a stark reminder of the devastation a severe recession can cause. Triggered by the stock market crash of 1929, it led to widespread unemployment, poverty, and social unrest, taking years to recover from. More recently, the 2008 financial crisis exposed the vulnerabilities of interconnected financial systems and had a profound impact on global economies. Throughout history, several significant recessions have had profound impacts on the global economy. Great Depression, 1929–1939, the most severe economic downturn in modern history, triggered by the stock market crash of 1929, resulted in widespread unemployment, bank failures, and a sharp decline in global trade. Global financial crisis, 2007–2009, sparked by the collapse of the U.S. housing market and the subsequent banking crisis. This recession led to a global economic contraction, sovereign debt crises in Europe, and a prolonged period of sluggish growth. Dot-com bubble burst, 2000–2001. The bursting of the dot-com bubble, fueled by excessive speculation in technology stocks, resulted in a sharp decline in equity markets and a slowdown in business investment. Oil crisis, 1973–1975, triggered by the OPEC oil embargo. This recession was characterized by stagflation, high inflation coupled with stagnant economic growth, and led to widespread economic disruption in oil-importing countries. Asian financial crisis, 1997–1998, originating in East Asia, this recession was precipitated by currency devaluations, banking crises, and excessive corporate borrowing, leading to widespread economic turmoil across the region. Navigating the storm. While recessions are an inevitable part of the economic cycle, governments and institutions can implement policies to mitigate their impact and accelerate recovery. These include fiscal stimulus. Increased government spending on infrastructure, social programs, and tax cuts can inject money into the economy and incentivize spending. Monetary policy. Central banks can lower interest rates and provide liquidity to financial institutions to encourage borrowing and lending. Social safety nets. Strengthening unemployment benefits, food assistance, and other social programs can help alleviate the immediate hardships faced by vulnerable populations. Recessions are challenging periods that demand collective action and preparedness. Understanding their historical context, potential impacts, and available mitigation strategies is crucial for individuals, businesses, and policymakers alike. By learning from the past and adopting proactive measures, we can hope to navigate the economic storms with greater resilience and emerge stronger. Recessions are significant economic downturns that can have profound effects on the global financial and labor markets. While the causes and consequences of recessions may vary, they often result in widespread economic hardship, financial instability, and social upheaval. Policymakers must employ proactive measures to mitigate the impacts of recessions, including monetary stimulus, fiscal support, and structural reforms, to promote economic recovery and stability.